Guys and girls, it's Know It time!
Alright guys, so today I'm going to start on a brand new chapter with you, chapter 8, and this is called Solving Systems of Equations. Solving systems of equations. How hard is this chapter? Well, it's a lot of work. Not that hard, but just takes a lot of work. So guys and gals, it's Know It time. Your favorite time of the day. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm gonna start now. There's two methods of doing this. There are two methods of working with this. Two methods. I'm gonna show you both methods today. Method 1, you're probably not going to use it, but I'm going to show it to you just quickly. Method 1. Method 1 really is something called solving graphically. I'm going to give you an example. We'll keep it easy. Example. 3x plus y minus 2 equals to 0. Y equals to x plus 4. Solving graphically. Back in grade 10, you will learn how to plot an equation. What shape are these two equations? What shape of the graph is it? Back in grade 10. Not a smiley face, because there's no square. Slanted, it's called a linear equation. So both of these are called linear equations. Linear. When you work with the linear equations, remember, they give you an equation that you memorize in grade 10. Y equals to mx plus b. Back in grade 10, back in the days, you remember that stuff. But the b represents something, and the m represents something. Let's see how you remember this stuff. Krista, what does b represent? B, Harneet, what does b represent besides your letter grade? I'm kidding. Oh, I'm so mean today. No, the B, no. Well, what is it? What is it? Constant. Not a constant. Yes, that's what I'm looking for. It is a constant, but it's actually your y-intercept. Okay. Just read. What does M represent? Slope. So when they ask you to solve graphically, what you want to do is, I want you to isolate for y in the first equation right now. So solve for y right now. Y equals to negative 3x plus 2. That's my first equation. My second equation is y equals to x plus 4. I'm going to just do a quick sketch what the graph looks like. Just a very, very, very quick sketch. Nothing tricky. Okay. Just a very simple sketch. I'm going to start with my first one. I'm going to do this in blue. This is my y-intercept, which is a 2. So go up here to guess where 2 is. Well, I'm going to say 2 is right around here. Just right around there. That's a 2. Okay. How do you know? I'm just guessing. My slope is negative 3. Pawan, what does negative 3 mean? Does that mean go up or down, and by how many? Down how many? So you go down 3. Do you go left or right? Now, once you go down 3, are you going to go left or right? So it would be negative 3 over 1, which is down 3, which is correct. Then you go 1 to the right. So guys, gals, I'm going to let you play the guessing games. If I go down 3, 1, 2, 3, right 1, I'm going to say it's right around here. Just a wild guess. I want you to plot in my next point. Okay, down 3, right 1 again. And draw a straight line connecting all these together. 1, 2, 3, 1. Take a minute, draw a straight line. Let's see if your straight line is as nice as mine. No, that's a bad line. Okay. And we're gonna try connect. There we go. Just as straight as possible. Voila, there's my straight line. Very nice. I'm gonna pause it. And for next one, I know I'm gonna start at 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Somewhere right about here, I'm gonna do it in red. My slope, m equals to 1 over 1. I go up 1, yep, right 1. Up 1, right 1. And again, just draw your best line as you can. No tricks. I'm gonna do this in red, so you can see. I'm gonna do this freehand. Right there. And I want you to put a dots right here. That is your solution. Your solution. Whatever that intersection point is, that's your solution. I'm going to play the guessing game that looks like maybe it's around negative something and 3. So, what this question is asking you is, the solution is the point of intersection. The point of intersection. That's our solution. Okay, that's what it means. The solution is a point. And if I was to play the guessing game, I'm going to guess. Guess what coordinate that is. Okay? Harmeet, what coordinate is it?
Negative 1 and 3.
Negative. We're guessing. Okay, this is a total wild guess. When you do things graphically by hand, it's pure guess. But in math, I don't like to do things by guessing. There has to be a nice way of doing this, and that's something called method 2. Method 2 is where I want you to focus on today. On the exam, I may give you a graph like this, and I ask you what's the solution. Solution is really where do they intersect. Method 2. Method 2 is something called solve algebraically. Algebraically. Algebraically is this. Very, very simple concept. I'm going to write my two equations side by side with each other again. So just copy your equations down. 3x plus y minus 2 equals to 0. My second equation is going to be y equals to x plus 4. The first thing you're going to do when you write it, solve it algebraically is, you're going to line things up. Line up all the y's with the y's, the lone numbers with the lone numbers right now. I have an x here. I want to match my equation so it fits the standard one up here. So guess where I'm going to move this x to? To the left. I want to line up. You're going to line up everything you can. So this method, so before you do this, I'm going to write this down, star. There are two ways to solve this. There are two ways to solve this. The first way I'm going to show you, this is a method a lot of you will use. This is called elimination. In elimination, you pair up the equations. You pair up your equations and try to get rid of one variable. This is called elimination. So we're going to pair them up. 3x plus y minus 2 equals to 0. So guys and gals, I want you to set up this so such that all the y's are lined up and all the x are lined up. So I can move this x to the left side. I can move this 4 to the left side because I just want to match them up. So this will be minus x plus y minus 4. Don't forget equal to 0. And we're going to draw a line just down there like that. There's one letter that you can get rid of right off the bat. Y. Now here's the thing. You can only add or subtract the two equations. One, if you're going to choose either is it going to be add or is it going to be subtract. If you add these two equations, will you get rid of y? If you subtract these two equations, will you get rid of y? Which one is it? Subtract. So what we're going to do now, here's what I want you to do. I want you to put a minus sign. See, all the y's are similar. If the y's are similar, let's get rid of, where's my minus sign? Oh, my pen's out of ink. Subtract. We're going to subtract these two equations now. You got to do this nice and slow. 3x minus a minus x. Write down 4x. Is it that hard? No, not really. Y minus y. 0. Then we got one more thing to do. Minus 2 minus a minus 4. Plus, we write down plus 2. Equals, see? My equal sign 0 minus 0 or 0 plus 0. That's just simply 0. Guys, gals, now I'm going to pause it. So we're going to solve for x now. 4x equals to negative 2. X equals to negative 1/2. From my guess, I guessed that x should have been negative 1. So my guess was wrong. Okay. X equals to 1/2, negative 1/2. The question now is, how do you find y? How do you find y? I know what x is already, but when I'm looking for an intersection of I need 2 points, x and a y. Question is, how do you find y? Serena, take a guess. How do you find y? Which equation do you substitute into? Guys and gals, to find y, choose any equation you want and sub x in. Serena says, hey, so let's just sub it into the second one. So let's sub it in right now. So what we're going to do is go y equals to, where all we're going to do is just sub it in. X plus 4. Okay, we're going to just sub it in. Y equals to negative 1/2 plus 4. So what is y? Y equals to 3.5. So when you write your final answer, remember you have to write it as a coordinate or quadrant. So your answer, because it's a point is a coordinate. Your answer is negative 0.5, comma 3.5. Hey guys and gals. So I compared this with my guess before. I guess, or Harmeet's guess was negative 1, 3. The actual answer is this. This is the reason why I'm not going to focus on graphing graphically with you. Graphically, you need a calculator to be more accurate, but because we don't have a graphing calculator, I'm going to show you how to do it the most precise way. The answer is negative 0.5 and 3.5. Try this one on your own. Okay? Your equation is going to be this. I have two equations. You're going to solve it algebraically. Forget graphing. Because graphing, we don't have a calculator, so it's not going to be accurate. 2x plus 4y equals to negative 6. 5x minus 3y plus 2 equals to 0. Your task is to find x and y. If I were to plot these two lines, what is my intersection going to be? First thing you're going to do is you're going to set it up. What I'm going to do is I'm going to set it up for you. Just help you set it up. Keep it nice and simple. You have 2x plus 4y plus 6 equals to 0. 5x minus 3y plus 2 equals to 0. You can't add or subtract to get rid of things because it's still there. Think of a letter you want to get rid of right now. Doesn't matter what it is. Harsh, what letter? X. If you look at this equation, would you agree this is 2 and this is a 5?
Yeah.
I'm going to give you a hint. We're going to find a common multiple. What's a common multiple between 2 and 5? So we're going to multiply the whole equation. See, we don't just multiply the first, we multiply everything. Guess what we're going to multiply this by? 5. Guess what you're going to multiply the bottom by? 2. Guys and gals, you should be able to figure out what to do after that. Because I want to get rid of x, so I want to make sure they're the same. I'm going to pause it again. So guys, we're going to just going to multiply this out. 10x plus 20y plus 30 equals to 0. 10x minus 6y plus 4 equals to 0. Okay. Jessica, am I going to add or subtract the two equations? See, I always put in my, make sure you have a negative sign right there, because it shows me. And go ahead, you can finish this on your own easily. Nothing too bad. So this is going to be 26y plus 26 equals to 0. Guys, gals, you're almost done. Just take it home now. Hey, this works really nicely. 26y equals to negative 26. Jason, what do you get for y? Once you have y, go back and choose any equation you like. Doesn't matter what equation you have. Sub it in and solve for x. This is called elimination. Okay. So I'm going to plug into the first equation. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go 2x plus 4 times negative 1 equals to negative 6. Plug it in. Keep it simple. 2x minus 4 equals to negative 6. 2x equals to negative 2. X equals to negative 1. When you write your answer, you got to write it in coordinate formation, remember. Answer. Negative 1, comma, negative 1. Guys, gals, voila. This is called elimination. But I said there are two ways of solving this. One is elimination. The second method is called method 2. Method 2 is actually called solving by substitution. Substitution. Here's how you do method 2. I'm going to start with my two equations again. 2x plus 4y equals to negative 6. Second equation, 5x minus 3y plus 2 equals to 0. You're going to just picture in your head right now. Choose one equation, either 1 or 2 right now, doesn't matter, and you're going to solve for a letter. Any letter you like. There's one letter that's the easiest to solve for, and there's only one equation that you probably work with. What equation though? Yep. So Harmeet says, hey, this equation looks easier to work with. I want you to take a minute and find x. Solving by substitution means what you're going to do is choose one equation that you think is easiest to work with and find the easiest letter, x. Solve for x right now. Get x by itself. To get x by itself, all you're going to do is just move it over. Negative 4x minus 6. X equals to nothing too bad. Just takes basic time. Whoa, negative 4y. Yep. Which is negative 2y minus 3. Guys, gals, I solve for x. Guess what I'm going to do with this x now? It's called substitution. Guess where I'm going to sub it in? Into this equation. You solve for 1, sub it in, and you find it. And we go 5 times negative 2y minus 3 minus 3y plus 2 equals to 0. Get you negative 10y minus 15 minus 3y plus 2 equals to 0. Minus 13y minus 13 equals to 0. Forgot equals to 0. Y equals to negative 1. See? No matter what you do, you get the exact same answer in end. So guys, gals, I leave this up to you and whether you like method 1 better. And then you solve for x, of course, you do the exact same thing. X equals to negative 1. When you write your answer, make sure you write in order. X goes first. So no matter what method you do, you get the exact same answer in end. Try this one. I will leave this up to you and your choice. Good luck. No, it's too easy. Not yet. I'm going to give you a challenge question later. 5x minus y equals to 10. X squared equals to negative x plus 2y. Find your answer. There's my two equations. Easier. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to just set things up. And because I'm planning to do elimination, so why don't I move everything to one side? 5x minus y minus 10 equals to 0. If I move the x and the y over, this is an x, this is a y, and really, there's like a 0. You want to think about this, there's no number here, just like a 0. If you want to think about it, like a 0 right there. Sorry? The 2? What 2? Yeah, that 2 is negative. My pen's not working today. Blame it on the pen. And there's an x squared right here. Some people prefer moving all the constant numbers to the right hand side. It's up to you. So guys, gals, choose a letter you want to get rid of right now. And I'm going to be honest with you. There's only one letter that you can get rid of. Y. Why don't you want to get rid of x? Too complicated. Then you have an x squared and y term. You're going to be in trouble. So in this sort of question, why don't you just get rid of y right now? To get rid of y, we're going to multiply by something. 2. And I rewrite my equation again. This is going to be 10x minus 2y. Now, to make it easier, I'm going to move all the constants to the right hand side. That's 20. So I only want to, all the low numbers just go to the right. Make it easier for you. So this now would become x squared plus 5x minus 2y. See? To make life easier, I'm going to remove all the constants to the right hand side. Guys, gals, I'm going to pause it. That's the next. So Darren says, hey, Mr. Look, I can subtract this. Subtract. Subtract the two equations. If you subtract the two equations, go for it. I'm going to pause it again. Subtract. Malika, what's the first thing? No, that's where you went wrong. It's not x squared. Negative x squared. Because remember, imagine there's like a 0 up here. 0 minus x squared. Then we're going to do the next thing. Serena, what's the next thing? Plus 9x. Equals to 20. Why don't we move the 20 to the left hand side? Negative x squared plus 9x minus 20 equals to 0. Normally, there should be no negatives in front of x squared, so why don't we just factor the negative sign right now? Because normally you shouldn't have a negative, right? So this becomes x squared minus 9x plus 20 equals to 0. Guys, gals, solve for x. So I'm going to pause it again. So if you want, we can bring x squared to the right hand side. It's all the exact same thing. And we get x. X, I realize I can factor this out. Amar, what is it, x?
X plus 1, x
Oh, whoa. 1? Did you say 1? No.
Oh, 20. Oh.
20. Oh, back to the drawing board. Darren, sorry, no, Darsha, what is it? 10 and 1? Oh, no. 4, negative 4, negative 5. Whoop, oh, that's a 4. Now, but we're not done. This is called factoring. I'm not asking you to factor. I'm asking you to solve it. X equals to 4. X equals to 5. What about negative sign? Good question. So there's a negative sign right here. If you bring this negative sign in, okay, let's say bring it into the first bracket, you have negative x plus 4, agree? Times x minus 5. You still get 4 and 5 no matter what happens. Okay. So now, my answer is not 4 comma 5, because that's the x value. So in this case, you have two solutions. X equals to 4. What does y equal to? And then you have x equals to 5. What does y equals to? Guys and gals, take a minute, find it for me. Plug it in and solve for it. X equals to 4, y equals to blank. You have to do both answers because there's two different values for x. Solve it, plug it in, plug into any equation you like. I'll probably plug into the first one. It's probably easiest. 20. If x equals to 4, I'm going to plug it in. 5 times 4 minus y equals to 10. Y equals to 10. That's it. I have another one. Find the last one for me. No tricks. And you should get 15. So your numbers are 4. And remember, we're going to write it as a coordinate system. 4, 10, 5, 15. That's how we do this algebraically. I'm going to give you some random questions to practice. Question. Two intercepts, yep. The reason why is here's the reason why you have two intercepts. What shape is this going to be? A parabola. Okay. Let's just throw a random parabola. I'm just making a random parabola. What shape is this going to be? First equation. That's a line. If I draw a line through a parabola, how many intersects would you have? 2. That's the reason why there are 2. Okay. So guys and gals, I'm going to give you some questions to just practice this. And we're going to practice this all the way till the break. And then after break, I'm going to start again. You're going to do Page 451. Numero. I don't want to give you too much work because you seem like you're stressed. How about just number 3 for now? I'm going to deal with number 4 later. Yeah, crack-a-lackin'.